Hello and welcome back to Let Aphotic Zones. I am your hostess, Joe, and today I am going to be clarifying because I realized in one of my videos I made a mistake. And that mistake was I said spirits, mandalas do not have favorites. Specifically, mandalas do not have favorites. And I want to give clarity on that today and also touch on a few other subjects in relation to that. The first one being accountability and how you can expect mandalas, most divine, ascended, high vibrational, loving ancestors and spirit guides to hold you accountable. So, mandalas will hold you accountable. However, they will not put you in a position to be hyper dependent on them. Mandala's means of holding you accountable will not consist of cursing you out, making threats, etc. True mandalas, divine spirits, highly divine, ascended, loving spirits do not have a need to ground themselves in such a way because they do not have to prove to you or themselves the power they hold by manifesting in an overtly masculine way. A lot of times, the only way demons or low vibrational beings can directly attack you is by using their words because they know that they do not hold that much weight or authority in the spiritual realm. They have to low vibrationally ground themselves and say or do things that would intimidate you as a human, like using certain words, such as certain demeaning curse words, such as saying certain things to scare you into doing something for them or not doing something for them. A lot of times, low vibrational spirits will demand you to give them things or devote your time and energy to something in a way that initially comes off as only a request. Mandalas are not quote unquote soft, or more correctly, low vibrationally feminine, but they simply handle things such as conflict or you falling out of alignment with your divine path in a much more decored, intentful, and high vibrational way. Most of the time, you falling out of divine alignment has nothing to do with your relationship with them and how frequently you give them your energy, but everything to do with how you are navigating your divine path and nurturing yourself. You do not need to have such a separate relationship with them. What I mean by this is giving them offerings frequently if you're not comfortable with that or don't have the means to, doing conjure work, spell work frequently, contacting them via psychedelics, tarot, etc., because you simply taking care of yourself by default is you taking care of them. You loving yourself by default is you taking care of them. It's not as complex as people in the media try to make you believe. Your divine evolution and divine favor from mandalas is not contingent upon the access you have in this earthly world to other earthly things, and those earthly things are not the easy bridge to divine realms that people portray them to be. You do not need them to have access to the divine, such as an altar. You are your own altar. Your body itself is an altar. Your spirit is an altar, and how you cultivate your spirit from within is an altar that you maintenance. You don't need statues, frequent, excessively frequent at that, offerings, tarot cards, etc., etc. Just imagine when all of this stuff burns down and depletes. When that time comes, your soul will still exist because our souls don't die, or at least not in the way that humans die. But if in this timeline you're telling yourself that you need XYZ material things or external connections in order to sustain yourself spiritually, you're going to be very feeble, confused, hopeless, and shit out of luck by the time that time comes, because you made yourself codependent on everything but yourself and source. It's the same for mandalas and how they communicate with you. An ascended being doesn't need to do all that rah-rah to get their point across. They have ways of showing you the right way without the intimidation tactics. Mandalas are graceful and they have a hands-off approach when they know there are keys and lessons you need to receive on your own. They will limit their engagement with you when this time comes and open up things in your universe such as clues and signs so that you can independently retain those lessons and keys and evolve from them. To people out here idolizing spiritual relationships, I really feel bad for you, because there is going to come a time when everything is quiet and there are no spirits in sight and no spirits to be heard. And you will totally feel lost and helpless because your only foundation lied with spirits and the material things that you attach to them, and not primarily yourself in a relationship with source through yourself. You were given a vessel, but you choose to use everyone else's vessel to channel source. You choose to use everyone else's vessel to channel source but your own. You don't think demons are going to come through? You don't think a person's ego is going to seep through? You don't think that their energies are going to be laced through whatever it is you're trying to receive through that channel? When you depend on other people's vessels to channel source, you are making yourself liable for their own corruption, their own unknown hidden corruption, their bloodlines corruption, and the corruption of the spirits that are attached to them. You are putting yourself at risk of taking on burdens, darkness that was unacknowledged, that was not your own. Weaker, more demonic souls incarnated in human form tend to depend on their low vibrational means of connecting with spirits, and it is a part of their demonic agenda to push the narrative that you must always be seeking out spirit via the things of this mundane world, such as offerings and excessive devotion. True mandalas want you to receive them from the inside out, not the outside in. They will love you from the inside out, not the outside in. They will give you favor from the inside out, not the outside in. It's like telling your child she's only smart if she goes to school. It's like telling your child she's only worthy unless she has friends. Mandalas will not make you feel the need to excessively ask for their opinion on all of the choices in your life, or constantly have you seek them out via other people or your own tarot cards. They are higher than that. They hold more authority than that. They are more powerful than that. If you really need help, the signs will come to you, always. If need be, They will channel through you to help push you in the right direction, but your will has to be strong enough, and the divinity within your spirit and soul has to be strong enough as well. If you mostly live by their command, you would not be exercising your own will, thus carrying your own spirit and soul into its ascension. Madalas will not make you their slave. Madalas understand that true divine evolution is not based on tarot cards, conjure work, and ancestor offerings or psychedelics. So they will not give you the pressure of undertaking these things in order to be in divine alignment with them, because souls that are truly strong can connect to source and higher beings and still evolve without those things. On behalf of them having favorites, they do indeed have favorites, but their favoritism is not centered around low vibrational or mundane accolades and does not manifest as you may expect it to. Their favoritism is silent. Although my Madalas do frequently tell me how much they love me and how much I mean to them. What I mean by silent is sometimes their favoritism manifests as you being rejected by 20 options, or even more than that, 50 options, just to get at the point I'm trying to make. You applied for just because they were holding the one that you were most worthy of. Let me repeat that. Their favoritism manifests as you being rejected by 50 options you applied for because they were holding the one that you were most divinely worthy of. They were holding the one where you did not have to shrink your divinity so much just to be able to have space in that position. They were holding the one where you could actually retain your healing and still get the job done. For low vibrating souls, they would have gotten the job on the first few tries, if that. The reason for that is because those souls hold a low quantum of divine light. Therefore, they do not hold a high-standing divine purpose, and there is no need for there to be as much care about where they go and who they are around. I could give many examples of their favor, but this is the one most adjacent to the point I am tackling. I am a highly ascended soul. I am amongst very few favorites of most divine, ascended, high vibrational, loving ancestors and spirit guides. I understand that they most times are not going to show their favor in a way that is most obvious to man, but I know that is because they operate on a higher frequency, and for that reason must do things in a higher way, a way that is not exclusive to my nor your egoic desires. I was codependent on a spiritual advisor, and I told them that I believe I am an angel, and they asked me, have you donated any money to people in need? Have you volunteered? Do you think about the lives of the souls that will come after you? I did and still do think about the lives of the souls that will come after me, but no, I haven't volunteered or donated. This person told me that because I didn't do most of these things, which was the volunteering and donating and, acts of service to man, I was not an angel. I actually discovered via source, via my own internal connection with God that didn't come from just doing tarot reads and things of that nature, that my soul is actually higher than an angel. But I don't just throw my soul status around because I know the low vibrational connotations that you all assign to soul levels like angels and goddess. And my energy will speak for itself. But imagine making someone feel like they need to donate to charity in order to be an angel or ascended master in their lifetime, when those type of statuses usually take lifetimes to obtain. Two, a lot of the money that is being allocated to sources that claim to be donating money to people in need are actually going in the pockets of greedy hands. And three, there are several covertly demonic, narcissistic, pedophilic people surrounding themselves by vulnerable people intentionally so that they can exploit them. It is a dangerous thing to say that those things, like volunteering and donating, deem a person an angel when demons will specifically seek out spaces like that to fulfill their mission.